but we have brought in, I think, at least 10 players, and I think we've done really, really well.
Into the black hole. Sing for my soul.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Sunshine on Leyth. It is the start of Season 6. We are into the Football League. We are a professional club, which, believe me, has its pitfalls as well as its upsides. I think more upsides than pitfalls, but I will talk about the pitfalls in a moment. As always, if you're enjoying the series, drop a like on the video. That would be really, really nice. So, we've got a lot of stuff to get into today. First thing I wanted to quickly note, you'll see Curtis Thomas signed a new deal. He is now a professional footballer with Whitport Athletic. And frankly, if he comes anywhere close to the season, in fact, even if he does half as well as he did last year, I still think he could be an incredible asset to us. Lincoln City were interested in him, and he wasn't able to sign a deal. And then as we ticked over, he came to me and asked for a new contract. And I'm like, you know what, Curtis? Yes, I think you deserve it. You get your new contract. We possibly should have gone for a bit longer, but that was the most we could really get. And I really was happy to go with Wakeling and Thomas up front. And they will be our starting strike partnership. I know what you're thinking. Matt, you've gone up and you've not replaced the entire strike force. It's actually happened. Our starting strikers will be Jacob Wakeling and Curtis Thomas. They will get their chance in League 2, and we will see how they do this year, because it is going to be tough as hell. Part of me thinks, honestly, I was almost kind of hoping we wouldn't go up once we got to that playoff final, because I was a little bit concerned that it might be too soon for us. So we will have to see. The budget's been very, very stringent, because the moment that we became professional, all of our youth players went from £5 a week to £120 a week, and I can't get rid of them. So that basically took out half of our bloody wage budget. So yeah, we've been working with a lot less money than we actually had anticipated. We were looking at £3,000. We eventually ended up with about $1,400 to spend, and even then I've had to lower the bonuses for the players in order to get some more money for us to even be able to do anything. So yeah, turning professional actually ended up costing us a lot of money too. But Thomas did win Player of the Season, not a huge surprise. The board are also expanding the stadium by another 1,500 seats, so unfortunately, Ewan, more work for you there, my friend, which is going to cost us £1.7 million, and only 900 grand of that is actually being paid for by grants, so we've taken out an 800k loan, because we can definitely afford that. I understand we have no choice, but my lord. So, I'll quickly show you through the players that have left the club this summer. Nobody's left on a transfer, and nobody's been bought or sold to any other club. I have tried to get rid of a few people, but they were not having it, which is a problem, but we'll just have to let them go at the end of the season. That's the kind of issue there. But some players have been released. So, quite a big chunk. Emery's gone. Blythe's gone. Jack Taylor, legend of the club at some points, gone. Wardley gone. Jordan Wynn, Niall Ellis, Ellis Williamson. Ben Mills as well has left the club. Our record appearance maker and our top scorer in the club's history has also left, along with Jake Watson. A load of free transfers. It just freed up loads of extra wage money, which we really, really needed. I would have kept a few of them around for backup, but after the whole youth team debacle, we really had no money we need to recoup some of that cash. Literally, the youth team being put onto those wages, and I tried to release them on a free, and it was going to cost us £150,000. So yeah, that literally added £1,500 at least to our wage budget, just with the youth team being made into professional players. Horrendous, but what can you do? It's only going to happen once, I guess. So those guys are all gone, but we have brought in, I think, at least 10 players, and I think we've done really, really well. So let's get straight into it. That's what you're here for. First game of the season today is against Oldham Athletic. This is big. Not a single penny has been spent on transfer fees this summer, but the first player that's coming is Ben Winterbottom, 23-year-old goalkeeper. He's coming from Ipswich Town. We needed something better than Luke O'Reilly this year, and I believe that Ben Winterbottom could be that guy. Now, there was a couple of other keepers I was looking at, but when the opportunity came up to sign Ben, I just figured, you know what, let's get this done. I think he's a solid keeper across the board, 3.5 stars, a lot better than what we were working with. I think he could be the difference between us going down and staying up this year. I genuinely do. Really pleased. 6'2", great physical attributes, really, really nice. Solid goalkeeping across the board. A little bit low on his eccentricity, which isn't the end of the world, to be fair. Mentals are okay. We maybe could have done a little bit better had I waited, but I just thought, you know what, we need to get in on this guy. And so we did. Next in comes Alan Blake. He was on a free transfer, was released by Sheffield United. As you can see, he's not on large money, only on a 2-year deal. 2-star player, little bit of potential there. He's only 18 years old. I thought, you know what? We might as well give this guy a crack. Now, he's not going to play there. The reason I brought him in really was because he had okay crossing and dribbling, and you might notice I've adjusted the skin slightly, so I've knocked the colours all up by 1 as we're starting to go up the league. Not bad on the physicals, but decent aggression, decent work rate, some decent mentals in general, and decent tackling as well. So if he does play, it will be as a winger on that right-hand side. So that's where we're going to be sort of training him. And next up is probably one of my favourite transfers of the summer. You might remember in the last episode or the one before, I mentioned a guy from Manchester City. We brought him in and he wouldn't sign for us. Not a chance. He was not interested because we were still in the other division. Also, he wanted like £1,300 a week. Now, he is still our most highly paid player and he's on a 3-year deal, but he's 17 and he's 6'6", not the quickest, but my God, he's good in the air. Great heading, decent-ish marking, decent tackle as well, great aggression, great bravery. He just seems like an absolutely brilliant centre-back that can just do a job. And a passing of 10 is not bad at all. And last of sort of the really big signings is this guy, Connor Teal, who's coming from Scarborough Athletic. He was at Leeds United at one point. We needed some extra bodies in that defensive midfield slot. I wasn't going to sign players like this, but then his wage demand seemed to drop. So we were able to actually get him. 5'11", you know, not stupidly tall, but could do okay. Heading's not great, though. Jumping reach is okay. He's decent about the thing that he has over Terry Bishop is he's got the mobility. Great tackling, decent passing, decent vision. Determination is decent as well. Aggression's okay. Anticipation, not bad. He seems like a solid option. And for £650 a week on, again, a free transfer, he did actually come directly from Scarborough, but it was a free transfer. I think we've really strengthened that DM spot a little bit more now with the likes of Adabati, Connor Teal, Terry Bishop. Kasimba will probably leave at the end of the season. But again, he's young, lots of room to grow. I'm pleased. I think we're just about building a team that could probably survive in League Two. I don't know, though. The final free signing for now is this guy, Dion George. Now, the reason I brought this guy in is because he came in on a trial and started banging in goals from the right-hand side, basically, playing probably instead of Putman Kitely. Good physicals. Okay dribbling and crossing, nothing special, 20 years old. Obviously, he isn't an international as well for Dominica as well. But most importantly, he's not got the greatest work rate or tackling, but he does have 16 aggression. And I think that was what was enabling him to do what he does. Now to the loans, and there's 3 so far, but obviously we've got spaces for a couple more, and I hope to use those by the end of the window. First of which is Kai Forsyth. Tried to get him on loan from Coventry last season, didn't quite work out, but this year he was willing to sign for us. He's only 6 foot tall, but he does have that lovely acceleration, which would be very nice if we do get our offside trap broken. Decent enough pace as well. Heading is really solid too, despite the lack of height. Tackling and marking aren't fantastic, but he does have good determination. Decent amount of aggression in there. Not the bravest though, but we're getting him on. I think we're paying we're paying £150 a week to have him at the club on loan from Coventry, and I think that was a solid piece of business just to give us a bit more solidity in the back line, which you know we wanted. Then another centre-back in Ben Dallewaters, who's coming on loan from Walsall. Similar kind of story with him. A little bit better at the marking side of things, but again, the idea was just to strengthen that area, and now we were actually able to get some of these. And lastly, we've got Zach Doby, who is on loan from the MK Dons. Now, simple story with him was, again, solid-ish crossing and dribbling. Passing was not too bad. Tackling's terrible, but whatever. Not too short either. Decent physicals, good aggression, and good work rate. That was really what I'm looking for on that left-hand side, just to give us more backup there with Luke Billam and whatnot. So to have Zach Doby there, really happy. And again, we're paying none of his wages. So it's basically a free player for the season, and I was totally happy to do that. We also have a new coach who's a fitness coach who's a model citizen personality, which I've not actually seen for a long time. And there was a guy that was slightly better, but I decided to go for this guy just purely because I wanted a model citizen personality around the club. That could only mean good things for us long term. So I really am confident. We drew Derby in the first round of the EFL Cup, so that should earn us a little bit of money, maybe. It's at Pride Park though, so you never know. But all in all, I am pretty content with the way the summer's gone. I mean, they are massively rich now, as you would expect. Thomas Stepanek, as much as I hate to say it, has done an incredibly good job there, more than I've ever actually seen in one of my simulations, which is impressive. I don't think they'll be doing anything this season, apart from staying up, which means we're not going to be seeing them soon, because I don't expect us to be doing that much either. But I want to see how much they've done in the transfer window, because I bet they've had mad money. They've actually not spent a single penny. They've brought in Ryan Ledson, though, who's on £4,000 a week. They've brought in Finn Back from Forest, who's on 2.7k a week. And they've brought on Ben Richards Everton, from Cheltenham Town, who's on 1.3k. They're not really spending that much. They really are relying on their youth team quite a lot, aren't they? And they've let one guy go. Levi Lang has moved to York City. So there you go. And that's for their senior squad. Like, they're not overly paying, I don't think. Their wage budget doesn't seem dramatically larger than some of the clubs around here. They're doing quite well with not spending that much money. They must be building up quite a bankroll, which is actually kind of scary. They're managing their money way better than they did in any of the simulations as well. But also, I hope they get relegated and their stadium burns down, because obvious. So today, we take on Oldham. Well, there's a lot. I mean, this is where we're in the real stuff now. We're playing ridiculously good teams in some of these games. Like, we've got some big names to play against. We get to play against Wimbledon this season. Got some ineligible players, of course. I mean, I just want to see how we do. We're not going to adjust our style of play. We know we're going to concede a lot of goals this season. We're going to get beaten to shit at set pieces because we're going to be coming up against even better players. And we're going to have to accept that and just know that as long as we can stay up, that is all that matters this season. So, what do we want to do? A few players, of course, still struggling for match fitness a little bit. Of course, yeah, I did the one in the thing, didn't I? So we still want to move this around a load, though. So Thomas in there. Adabati is not going to play on the right-hand side. Okay, I found him. Unfortunately, Dion played in an under-18s game today. They were put in the wrong squad, which is frustrating. So we'll have to accept that Pat McCartney will be starting in League Two today. Part of me would be tempted to start Alan Blake, but I feel like BPK deserves it. So Harding and Forsyth with Galvin, Bishop and Teal, That makes me feel a bit better here. I think the backline really does it looks stronger this season, and obviously on the bench. And we finally have 7 subs. I mean, that alone is worth it. So on the bench, Adabate, Dally Waters, Forrester, Hammett, Blake, Doby, and Ruben Lau. Having those extra substitutes, I think, is really going to help. We're going to get to match fitness back a little bit because we've had so many players on trial and a lot of the friendlies. That tends to take away from some of them because you do get players that are way better than they should be just on trial here. We had a guy that was from like Manchester United on trial, something Riley, I think, but he broke his ribs, so I had to release him. It's just cool to see us playing at this level. We're a professional football club. This is our first ever match as a professional team. I'm genuinely pumped for this. It's exciting. It's just, so I wonder what these sort of attendances we're going to get as a professional side now. Obviously, the stadium has been reduced in capacity for now due to obviously increasing the size of it. So we might not get that much, but it's just cool to have Oldham Athletic playing us in a professional match in Whitport. That's awesome. And in traditional style, Ben Putman-Kirtley has hurt himself inside the first 8 minutes, and he's going to have to come off. His professional debut ends after 8 minutes, and Alan Blake will step in. Be interested to see what Blake is capable of out on that right-hand side, because he does have a lot of Putman-Kirtley-esque sort of ability. I think he's lacking in some areas, though, because he is more of a central player, but I really do want to play him on that wide area and see what he's capable of. We're certainly keeping things tight so far. It looks like it's going to be one of those matches. Honestly, I'd take a 0-0 against Oldham. I'd like some stuff to happen, but a 0-0 would be fine. It would be our first ever point. I'm going to say a lot of first things as a professional side, but oh god, that's bad defending. Great save from Ben Winterbottom. Really nice. His first save as a professional goalkeeper for us. Yeah, it's getting a bit much now, isn't it? Haven't really seen much from us so far from an attacking perspective. Burrows is in again. Good block. Defensively, been pretty solid so far. Blocked again. I think that was by Harding. They're going more attacking, are they? Okay, good news, I guess. See how we can do from playing out from the back. Now, obviously, the links are going to take a little while to build up. New players will need to bed in. Terry Bishop with his new partner there will be interesting to see how he does. Because Terry Bishop was an interesting one at times. But the thing is, Rocco Adabate was just so unpredictable. Too many red cards last year was the main thing. Bilham, can he take on the fullback? He might be able to dig across out here. He doesn't. Thomas is in there, and he really should have scored. Curtis Thomas with his head in his hands there should have given us the lead right on the stroke of half time and could have. Oh, that was a really. Wow, that's a lot of fouls. Considering we're not on get stuck in. That might just be because they're a much better side, but well played Curtis Thomas getting into that position. We've kind of just got to keep on going, really. But that might honestly be just because our goalkeeper is a little bit more confident on the ball, and that might actually help us out a little bit. But maybe it's just our way of holding onto the ball for a bit. Cox on the edge of the box. Get out to him. At least block the shot. And it's saved by Winterbottom and collected by the goalkeeper. Well played, son. Obviously, it's going to take me a while to see if he has actually been a massive step up over O'Reilly. But he's doing the right things. Burrows, and it's wide. Fairly certain that Burrows guy that plays for Oldham was at Barrow last year. I remember him getting through us quite considerably last season. So Bishop's not done well, so I might give Adabate a little run out, particularly with the yellow here. The last change, let's give Zach Doby his first appearance for us as well. Unfortunately, Alan Blake's not done a lot, but it's going to take him a little while to settle into that role, I'd say. That and the fact that it's been a really poor game from both sides in all honesty. And Harding's in there. Really good save from the Oldham keeper. We're matching them, and I'm all right with that. Like, chance-wise, we're doing okay. On paper, we're doing all right. We're matching Oldham in most areas in this game, and that's pleasing enough for me. If we could just get away with a 0-0 draw, quite frankly. Clean sheet would be really good for the new defenders, which would be a really nice sign just to see us keep a clean sheet. Where's the fullback gone? And it's off the crossbar, and Kai Forsyth will clear that away. Maybe there's one last thing in the tail. I've decided to just up the tempo for the last couple of minutes, and Adabate's been dispossessed, and we're getting drawn all over the place. Look at the space for Manouche. We need a big save from the goalkeeper here, and Cross has gone to... Jason Cross gives Oldham the lead in the 88th minute, and that, unfortunately, was down to Rocco Adabate. We didn't cover ourselves in glory, but he just lost the ball for no reason, and then everybody got torn out of shape here. I mean, actually, to be honest, I'm surprised he played this pass, but there's nothing Winterbottom. He nearly gets that as well. Nothing the goalkeeper could do about that, and it's 1-0 to Oldham. We're going to be in for a tough year, lads. A very tough year, but that's what we have to expect playing at this division. Once we get the match fitness up, though, get the players with a bit more links, then maybe there's a chance for us still. We've shown a little bit tonight. I'm certainly not displeased with the lads, really. Defty? Oh, surely not. Defty! Tipped over by Kennedy. We've hit the target a few times, created a couple of little chances. Still relatively pleased with the team overall. For all we know, Oldham will be towards the top of this league this season, and this will look like a better result come the end of the year, but I don't know. We'll see. And remember, we've still got 3 loan slots to fill, and I can definitely feel like strengthening the squad with a couple of extra players. Even if I do want to bring in another striker as well, just to give us some backup. Because really, it's only Harry Hammett that can play if one of our other 2 gets hurt. And that looks like it's going to be it. Unfortunately, there we go. Whitport 0, Oldham Athletic 1. The Battle of the Athletics. Oldham come out on top with an 88th minute winner. Not the best performance from us, really. But I think for this level, it wasn't a bad showing. And I think that on another day, we could have got a point. And frankly, there were chances where we could have won this match. So it's not too bad. Connor Teal puts in a 7, which is a really nice sign because usually our defensive midfielders do not perform well in terms of their average rating. So to see Teal put up good numbers there is the first step to us maybe sorting that part of our team out. So it's not the end of the world. So in the season preview, Oldham are expected to come 19th, and we've just lost at home to them. So maybe this is going to be a more difficult year than even I imagined. But as long as we can get enough points to stay up, that's all that matters to me. Just keep plugging away. Pat McCartney, not too badly hurt. We've got a week in between now, which is nice. So obviously, we're going to come back for Port Vale in the next episode. And then after that, we're going to come back for Exeter City away because it's very, very late today. I've had to have a haircut, of all things. So I don't actually have enough time to do a load of games off camera like I would normally do here. So we're going to come back with Exeter in the next episode as well, along with the Port Vale game. There'll be a Derby one off camera in between, but come on, we're going to go out there. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode, and I really hope you have, I'm looking forward to this season. We had 2,500 in the stadium. That is terrific news for us keeping ourselves afloat this year. Ooh, lovely stuff. Then drop a like on the video. That'd be tremendous. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. That'd be gorgeous as well. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. I also stream on Twitch on Tuesdays, Thursdays, so go give us a follow, and sometimes at the weekends as well. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Hold your gun, capybara. Bye-bye.